I can't believe yesterday was the 14th time that I've been at St. Jude's Country Fair, and every year it just brings such energy and such joy, and so many of our parishioners are there and guests, and I've always looked forward to it. Although I must say this past week I was a bit in a conundrum. And that's because I knew that at the fair there would be lots and lots of parishioners there, and there would be other folks who know me. And I knew that the one question that I would be receiving over and over and over again would be, how are you doing? Talking about my physical health. And I was like, I really cannot go over with everyone how I am doing. For one, I would get tired of hearing myself. But two, the fact is, anybody who has chronic conditions, you know, it can change moment by moment. And I'm going to give you a real truth now. The fact is, most people don't want to hear the truth. They just want to hear, oh, I'm good, because who likes to get bad news? And so my struggle was what on earth I was going to say to people when they asked me how I was doing. And then all of a sudden I remembered a movie from 2011, and it was Medea's Big Happy Family. Now, if you don't know anything about Medea movies or Medea plays, they're all written by Tyler Perry, a genius with comedy and also addressing issues that are important in our country. He's a devout Christian, but the main character, of course, in all of his stuff is Medea. And Medea, played by Tyler Perry, is this old, humongous, bigger than life grandma with this huge family that she is the matriarch of. And the thing about Medea is Medea doesn't hold back. She tells you just like she thinks it is. But the jewels are, even with some of her over-the-top commentary and actions, like going over to a house and taking a chainsaw and cutting it in half in one movie. She always had nuggets of wisdom and truth in what she says. Now, in that movie, we see Medea's niece, a grown woman, who comes to her wanting Medea's help because her niece Shirley has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. And she only had one wish, and that was that somehow, some way, she would be able to sit down with her 3 grown children, none of whom got along with each other, for a family meal, and she could tell all of them at once what's going on, but also to let them know that she's okay. And whenever through the movie Shirley is asked how she is doing. Remember, this woman is dying. Her response was, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Now, I don't know if that response would be the first thing on most of our minds if you were going through something like that. You know, we tend to think of blessings as, oh, well, you know, the lucky winner of the TV at $1,000 at the fair yesterday, or grabbing that great job that you always wanted, or you went to the doctor worried but come back and you're given a clean bill of health. I mean, you can name it. I mean, anything that is either regarding material things or success in society, today's society, that would be considered a blessing. Most people, the vast majority of people, would not consider being diagnosed with a terminal disease, losing one's employment, caring for a loved one who is suffering in body, mind, or spirit, being bullied at school. The list can go on and on, but most of us would never, ever consider those things to be blessings. Of course, Jesus always has a way of helping us turn our thoughts around into, in God's eyes, what really is the reality. Now, in the New Testament, there are 122 references to either blessed blessings or, I have to write that down, blessed blessings or blessed. Those three. And all of those, none have to do with material success. None have to do with health success. All of them, though, have to do with either being poor, being persecuted, being sick, being faithful to God. And we see that in today's gospel when Jesus, in the beginning of his ministry in Matthew's gospel, gives his Sermon on the Mount. And we just heard the Beatitudes, this much beloved Beatitudes that we all know. But if you stop and really think about the Beatitudes and what they're saying, blessed are the poor. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who are persecuted. See, Jesus knows that in God's eyes, blessings, being blessed, is a gift from God that fills God's individuals. And even though we might be going through times in our lives which are extremely difficult, that we can be assured that God never leaves us. that he is blessing our lives fully, even at times when we want to scream and yell at God, which over this past summer I've had a lot of incidents of getting quite a little angry with God and telling God what I thought, but God can handle it, so I'm reminded always that Jesus told people what he thought too, so I think I'm in good company. But on this All Saints Sunday, you and I have a chance to really think about our lives and to realize just how blessed we are. I can guarantee, even if you're having the worst day of your life, there is at least one thing that you know you are blessed about. But it's so easy to forget about that and focus on that, which takes us and pushes us away from God. My sisters and my brothers, may you realize on this All Saints, when we remember loved ones who have gone before us to be in the nearer presence of our God, when we remember the saints, men and women who lived imperfect lives just like you and me because they were human, but they in their lives were able to point us to Christ, let us be saints today. Allow Christ to work through us and in us to be assured of our blessedness and also to be a blessing to others. So, just so you know, my response is going to be, I'm blessed. If you want more, that's all you're going to get. Because the truth is, I'm blessed. And so are you. Amen.